to come. At 6, Alan Freeman. At 5, it's Steve Wright. Right now, Peter Powell.
BBC Radio 1 Vintage.
Hello, this is Peter Powell. I was at Radio 1 from 1977 to 1988. I was 16, and I remember making an appointment to tune in to listen to the opening show with Tony Blackburn.
Stand by for switching. Get tuned to Radio 102, 5, 4...
The countdown and the whole excitement and the energy of waiting for this brand new network to come on board was quite phenomenal.
Just for fun. Music. Too much.
And good morning, everyone. Welcome to the exciting new sound of Radio 1.
And at 16, I remember sitting there listening to Tony Blackburn doing his first show and going, within about 30 minutes, I'm going to be a DJ. Simple as that. I managed to get a job at the age of 18 on BBC Radio Birmingham. And then I was very lucky to get a call from a friend who was working up in London, who was in the promotions business, and he got me an interview with an agent called Mary Titmus. And she sort of sat on a dais and looked at me and said, I think Radio 1 are looking for some new DJs to do some shows, and I think you'll do one. And I went, oh, okay. So I went along and auditioned, and I got the job to be part of a batch of new kids called Radio 1's Second 11. And we were doing Saturday mornings for 2 hours, and I did 8 shows, I think. And I was handing over to Emperor Roscoe at that time, and that was fantastic. The guy I've been listening to for so long.
We now join Space Central, ladies and gentlemen. We cross over to find Peter Powell.
On the back of that, I managed to get an interview with a wonderful man called Ken Evans, who was the program director at Radio Luxembourg. He kindly gave me a job, and I flew out to Luxembourg, and I did about 4 or 5 years at Luxembourg, and had a whale of a time. It was a brilliant experience. And then the call for Radio 1, long expected, long hoped for, long prayed for, came, and that minute changed my life forever. The call came through about 6 o'clock in the evening, and I was with a friend, and he says to this day, I literally lifted from the floor and hit my head on the stucco roof of the flat, and I'm sure I still got the holes in the top of my head. That's how high I jumped with joy.
Radio 1 is just...
For the life of me, I cannot remember my first show. I cannot remember my first record. I can't remember any of that. It's all still a blur.
That's all tomorrow, but this particular moment, if you just joined us, welcome to the Peter Powell Show.
The 10-year career at Radio 1 peaked without any shadow of doubt at Tea Time. It was a dream to get that show. And the Tea Time show, I think, did actually manage to create quite an identity of its own. And I think the reason for it is because it was a fantastic time for music, because the new romantic era was clashing with the punk era, so that was like exciting anyway. On the Tea Time show, I could do some introduction to some new acts and some new music. And the two that I'm probably most proud of are Duran Duran and Spandau Ballet.
Got some songs together and showed a private viewing in was it High Road in one of in the rehearsals. It's the rehearsal studio.
Who actually started their broadcasting careers, if I'm right, and they may say I'm wrong, but I think by doing sessions for my radio show before they were signed to record companies.
Do you really want to hurt me?
And the same happened to a number of other bands, including most notably Culture Club, who weren't even Culture Club at that time.
Precious kisses, what's that fun?
And Adam Ant's mum used to send me a Christmas card every Christmas, which I thought was brilliant marketing. We gave him a slot, about 10 minutes, I think, on a Thursday night, to introduce the best of new jazz funk music. And it was very popular.
And what are you looking for? Well, most of them come from America, so you've got to make sure you get down to the import shops and not just go down.
But Pete, yeah, he made his debut on my show, and very proud of that.
£20 a week on records.
I think the most significant feature was probably the 545s at 545.
Peter Powell. For you.
And that was 545 records, you know. We still had them in those days, and we still put the needle on it and had to scratch it back to make sure we got the start. And there must have been 150 or 200 or even 1,000 bands that got their first and perhaps only airplay on Radio 1 on that feature. And I'm quite proud of that.
I stood the test of time.
I was at Radio 1 from 1977 to 1988, so that was 11 passionate, energetic, wild, crazy years.
To hear the full interview, download the podcast at bbc.co.uk/Radio1Vintage.
The UK's favourite DJs. Peter Powell, Radio 1 Vintage.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Lift off. Ignition. All right, lift off and the clock has started.
Radio 1.
Mercy, Mr. Roscoe, and outer space. Good afternoon, good people, and welcome to the Pete Powell Show. Thanks for joining me on this Saturday afternoon. It's great to be back after 8 weeks away. Thanks to Dave Gregory for the last 4 Saturdays, and I hope you can stay with me through till 4 o'clock for all the music and fun on Radio 1.
Yeah, people, Peter rules the air. 2 till 4, you'll find him there.
Drunken people. Good music there. Chicory Tip. Straight in at number 30. Good sound from them, called Son of My Father.
Mama said to me, we got a happy life run right. Off you go to school where you could learn the rules they're right. Be just like your dabbling father when it seems tradition. Never go astray and stay an honest loving son. Son of my father, mooling I was fooling, I was free from drive. Son of my father, commanded I was banded in a plastic craft, surrounded and confounded by statistic facts. Tried to lift me in, but I jumped down off my skinny time. I saw scrutinized and read it alibi signs. So I left my home, I'm really on my own at last. Left the past and separated from the past. Son of my father, changing, rearranging into someone new. Son of my father, collecting and selecting independent views, knowing and showing how to change his tune. Son,
Featuring the Moog synthesizer,
fooling, I was free from
Son of My Father. Thank you for repeating me, gentlemen.
bandit, I was banded in a
Comes to you from Chicory Tip, and a great sound is too. Remember, about 1:45 the hour, we've got the Good Luck Spot coming our way on 247, so that should be fun. Just giving myself time to get breath to say at this time on the Saturday afternoon show, for the benefit of those of you who aren't going out tonight and who haven't had a chance to look at the Radio Times, I thought we might have a look at the films on the telly tonight, you know, when you're all nice and snug in a bug like a rug, or snug in a rug like a bug, in front of a nice warm fire. Okay, firstly on BBC One at 7:45 there's the Hollywood premiere, The Manhunter, which stars Roy Theen, Sandra Dee and Albert Salmi. It's all about an African safari big game hunter, David Farrow, who finds himself in the desolate, sinister swamplands of Louisiana, where his quarry has gone to ground and his quarry, wait for it, a man. And later on BBC Two, the midnight movie this week is Hound Dog Man, starring Fabian and Carol Lindley, with Stuart Whitman, Arthur O'Connell and Dodie Stevens. Rock and roll singer Fabian and Carol Lindley of the Blue Jeans fame are the stars of this outdoor film directed by Don Siegel. Among Fabian's songs are Hound Dog Man, I'm Growing Up, and Pretty Little Girl. Ah, Pretty Little Girl. And there are also some more songs from Dodie Stevens in her very first film. That's Hound Dog Man, the midnight movie at 11:35 on BBC Two tonight. Sunday sees at 3:35 on BBC One, Film of the Book, Good Morning, Miss Dove. That's the title, starring Jennifer Jones and Robert Stack. And at 8:10, also on BBC One, Trevor Howard in Outcast of the Islands. That stars also Ralph Richardson and Robert Morley, no less. Okay, so you've got that in front of the nice warm telly. Nice warm fire, watching the telly. What? And I'm going to play the penalty play for all the football fans everywhere. Put your teeth back, sir. And thank you very much, I must remind myself, for staying so closely tuned to Radio 1. So especially for you, here's a new one from David Bowie.
Don't know what I was waiting for, and my time was running wild, a million dead-end streets, and every time I thought I got it made, it seemed the taste was not so sweet. So I turned myself to face me, but I've never caught a glimpse how the others must see the faker. I'm much too fast to take that test. Changes.
Turn and face the strain.
Changes. Don't wanna be a richer man. Changes.
Turn and face the strain.
Changes. There's gonna have to be a different man. Time may change me, but I can't trace time. Watch the ripples change the size, but never leave the stream of warm and permanent sand. So the days float through my eyes, but still the days seem the same. And these children that you spit on as they try to change their worlds are immune to your consultations. They're quite aware of what they're going through. Changes.
Turn and face the strain.
Changes. Don't tell them to grow up out of it. Changes.
Turn and face the strain.
Changes. Where's your shame? You've left us up to our next event. Time may change me. You can't trace time. Strange fascination fascinating me. Our changes are taking the pace I'm going through. Changes.
Turn and face the strain.
Changes. Oh, look out, you rock and rollers. Changes.
Turn and face the strain.
Changes. Pretty soon now you're gonna get older. Time may change me, but I can't trace time. I said that time may change me, but I can't trace time.
Okay, I know I'm in a music store, but where, I don't know. Where am I?
Oh, we're downtown, Lower Manhattan, J&R Music World, across the street from City Hall in the Wall Street area, right across from the World Trade Towers,
What's your name?
Broadway. My name's Alan Peller. I'm the manager of the record department here.
Perfect guy to meet. Alan, can you, in a nutshell, tell me what's happening musically in America at the moment?
Well, there are a lot of hot acts out there right now. Prince is very hot, still burning up the charts. Frankie Goes to Hollywood has exploded in the New York area.
That's one of ours.
Oh, yeah, Two Tribes is so strong. His cover version of Born to Run, Ferry Across the Mercy, tremendous stuff. Selling in the dance areas and in the rock areas, within store play, of course.
What is the difference between a dance chart and a pop chart in America? Is there a big difference?
Not really. Basically, things that rise to things rise to the top of both charts. A little slower in the dance area than the pop area. While an album like Tina Turner will remain hot in the pop charts for a couple of weeks, it'll reach the dance charts and only stay up there for maybe 2-3 weeks. Well, it'll be in the top 10 in America for maybe 2-3 months.
So much longer than in Britain.
Yeah, the length of an artist's stay on the top of the charts in America is about 4 times the length of the stay in England. In England, if you get a single staying up there for 4 weeks, it's amazing.
It's big news.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of British people think of American music as still the Eagles and Steely Dan and people like that. Is that outdated now, or is that just West Coast?
That's West Coast and outdated, which is synonymous with itself.
Yeah.
You know, considering we definitely are in the East Coast. The Eagles, their solo artists, have come out with albums recently, and they really haven't done much. Glenn Frey had a little success. Don Henley had some success. But in New York, as opposed to the rest of the country, we're always looking for new things and exciting things.
Is New York a bit special then?
Definitely, it's very special.
What is number one in America and what's number one in New York?
Well, probably the number one album in America right now is the Prince album. It's still selling very well off the movie, and he has a couple of number one singles off it. The number one album, I think, in New York right now is Frankie Goes to Hollywood. The album hit the stores last Thursday, and in a matter of a week, we've sold 450 copies.
Brilliant. Thank you very much indeed.
All right, thank you.
Hello, this is Peter Powell, and you're listening to Radio 1 Vintage. Still to come.
Two guys in question are John Taylor and Simon
Under
Bond
pressure.
from Duran Duran.
Hi there.
Okay, guys.
Hello.
The whole world knows of the massive effort and the financial benefit of Band-Aid, USA for Africa and Live Aid.
One of the bands that got more cars than any other, as you can imagine, are Wham. And from Wham is Andrew Ridgeley. Thanks for coming in.
Radio 1 Vintage.
Close to the edge. To the edge.
It's the first and the favourite 5 this morning, and it's Close to the Edit from Art of Noise, really arty record. Just smack the microphone with the cover, I'm sorry, because I'm trying to read it, and it's absolute double Dutch to me this time of the morning. Because the writing is terribly arty on the back. Probably the brainchild of Paul Morley, who used to write for the NME and now works for ZTT, and is one of the controlling interests in the record company, I'm sure, along with Anne Dudley and Trevor Horn, who produced that little masterpiece, Art of Noise, Close to the Edit. That's a new single, and one of the first of the favourite 5s. 4 more to come. Right, a couple of T-shirts to give away. Firstly to Morag Gold from Telford in Shropshire, who celebrates her 19th birthday. So, morning to you. Happy birthday, Morag. Thank you for joining us this early. Actually, it's not that early, what am I talking about? It's only 12 after 8. Hi to Jackie and Linda and Wirral and Julie and Ange and Judith and Kay and all the pupils of Leighton School. And that is from Eddie in Telford, and lots of love from Heather as well. Okay. And Ray Nicholson from Kilmarnock in Ayrshire celebrates his 25th this morning. Happy birthday to you, Ray. And if only you were 10 years younger, you could have been coming to New York with us. Or you could have come to New York with us. As it was, you couldn't, and hopefully you heard the programme. And I'm trying to prove that I'm back in London live. I don't know quite how to do it. I mean, you can do anything in the edit nowadays. How can I prove we're in London live? It's no good. No, I can't stand. I can't walk out the studio. And that'll be with the help of one of the Hitline contestants, the first one, in about 20 minutes or so from now. They can prove it for us that we are live. It's the Bunny Men, the Killing Moon.
Cancel it though, I know it must be the killing time. Unwillingly mine. In the starlit nights I saw you, so cruelly you kissed me. Your lips a magic world, your sky all hung with jewels. The killing moon will come too soon. Fate up against your will, through the thick and thin. He will wait until you give yourself to him. Under blue moon I saw you, so soon you'll take me up in your arms, too late to beg you or cancel it, though I know it must be the killing time, unwillingly mine. Fate up against your will, through the thick and thin. He will wait until you give yourself to him.
It's the Bunnymen and the Killing Moon, and I met Mac, the mainstay of the Bunnymen, late night in a club in London. And he seemed really nice to talk to, actually. I thought he was going to be a really difficult person to actually make conversation with, but not at all. Doesn't come out of his shell that often, but when he does, he's very pleasant indeed. That's Echo and the Bunnymen, the Killing Moon.
England, Scotland, Ireland, Wales. National Radio 1.
This is the feature that we've been waiting for, so as we can put these two guys under pressure. The two guys in question are John Taylor and Simon
Under
Bond
pressure.
from Duran Duran.
Hi there.
Okay, guys.
Hello.
The phone belongs to the audience, and they are now going to ask you some interesting questions, we hope. Sarah Holt's next. From where, Sarah?
Bromyard in Herefordshire. What are your 3 most treasured possessions?
I'd be at a loss without my video machine because I like watching films all through the night, and I don't think the television goes on long enough here. Probably my cars. There's certainly my Aston Martin, even though I never drive it. And probably my house. But there's many, many things, many possessions I have. Peter Powell for one. But I couldn't really live without.
Which can actually fit into John Taylor's back pocket.
And it would indeed fit into the boot of my Aston Martin, as indeed it has done on many occasions.
Thank you, Sarah.
Okay, Sarah.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
love.
Thanks, bye.
Helen Garrett is next. Hello, Helen.
Hello.
Where are you from?
I'm in Church Stratton in Shropshire. Who would you most like to be stuck in a lift with?
Oh, well, that's a bit dodgy, isn't it? Shall we say...
I'd like to think it was
Marilyn
me.
Monroe, probably. I cut out of that one well, didn't I? There's absolutely no chance of that one happening. Yeah, Marilyn Monroe, why not?
Someone currently...
There's a few...
apart from you,
There's
Helen.
a few people that write for some of the music papers I'd like to get stuck in a lift with, so I
Yeah.
can stick one on them. Yes, John Blake, probably.
Cheers, Helen.
Okay, thanks.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, love, bye. Rachel. Hello, Rachel.
When you were a teenager,
Yeah.
what was the worst punishment you got, and what was it for?
I got the cane.
At
I did
school.
actually get the cane once at school, which is extremely painful. That was for actually being caught walking off from a games lesson all the way home. It caught me 5 minutes from the door of my house, actually, because I used to walk home. Why? Have you had any sort of really rotten punishments recently?
Well, sort of essays and things.
Essays? Oh, that's nothing, come on.
What I hate is they stand in front of class and start yelling at you.
Oh, yeah. Well, that happened to me once, actually. The teacher started yelling at the whole class, and I stood up and started yelling back at her. And I got I got a very bad punishment for that, which was like I had to clean desks for 3 weeks every night after school, which is a bit of a bummer.
Ghastly.
Did you ever have sixth form? I was in grammar school. We had like sixth form detentions, and they always get these awful people who were sixth form monitor type people, prefects. That's what they're called. Yeah. And they were real power.
I had my prefect's badge taken away from me.
Did you? Well, that's real street cred, John. I'm really glad to hear
I hope you're listening to that, all you Clash listeners. All that.
Thanks, Rachel.
Bye.
Bye. Vicky White is next.
John, being a James Bond fan, what was your reaction when you and the band were asked to do the soundtrack to the new film?
Well, because I'm a James Bond fan, I actually demanded that we should do it. They never asked us. I just saw Cubby Broccoli at this party in London, and I was a bit drunk, and I thought, well, it's now or never. And I just went storming up to him and said, yeah, it's really nice to meet you. Introduced myself. I said, I'm such a great fan of yours, but when are you going to have a decent theme song again? And why don't you get us to do it? And he said, well, maybe that's not such a bad idea.
What's your favourite record in the charts at the moment?
Wild Boys.
Right, what's your favourite all-time record?
Reflex, I think.
Yay!
Hey.
Well, looks like I got to play it.
You've gone too far this time, but I'm dancing on the Valentine. I tell you, somebody's fooling around with my chances on the danger line. I'll cross that bridge when I find it. Another day to make my stand. Oh, high time is no time for deciding if I should find a helping hand. Oh, why don't you use
16 hours of live music in aid of famine relief in Africa.
The whole world knows of the massive effort and the financial benefit of Band-Aid, USA for Africa, and Live Aid. The intention was, and still is, to save as many lives as possible in the most drought-stricken areas of the world. Well, I've been up for some 20 hours, and we're flying at some 35,000 feet, courtesy of Kenya Airways, and I'd imagine at this minute we're probably going over the Sahara Desert. I just had a cup of coffee, and I'm just studying some of the safety rules which have been given to us to study on our way over. And they include things like this. Regarding the capital, Nairobi, no one to go outside the area marked on the map when not in a vehicle. It is very, underlined, unsafe. Must always be in groups of 4 or more, no one to be unaccompanied at any time. Moving on to the wildlife, never pat or pet a dog or other animal. Report bites immediately. And the byline, friendly dogs have something to give you. Disease. No swimming or paddling except at various lakes, as underlined. Check your bed, clothes and shoes before getting in for spiders, scorpions and insects. Oh, crikey. Most are poisonous. I'm not going to sleep well, I know it. Ticks. Don't pull off. Remove with a lighted cigarette or salt. They're horrible little insects which burrow into your skin. Jiggers. What on earth are jiggers? Your feet will itch like mad. Get an African to remove it. Blimey. Right. Well, there's some safety rules. Now a few of the local sayings. This is Swahili. I'm about to speak to you on Radio 1. Wim Moseo. How are you? Way Moseo. How are you?
You're listening to Radio 1 Vintage. Up next, it's me, Steve Wright, in about 20 minutes. Don't be late.
You've got a friend, the happy sound of Radio 1 Vintage. How in the world do you think anybody's supposed to respect you?
chain gang and respect yourself. Right. to the phones.
It's mine. Radio 1.
Morning, Susan Condry.
Hello.
How you doing?
All right, thanks.
Thanks for the pleasant remarks on the bottom of your card about the programme.
That was my mother.
Oh, was it? No, thanks to you then. Thanks to your mum. What's your mum's name?
I don't know, because I never read the card. Because she was off work, you say, and she wrote it.
Hold on, you know your mum's name though, don't you?
Oh, Sylv.
Oh, but you don't know who sent the card in?
Yeah, my mother.
Oh, it was your mum?
Yeah.
I'll see. What you mean is you don't know what was written on the bottom of your card. Oh, I won't repeat it. So I thought you'd forgotten what your mum's name was. How's the dental business?
Oh, fine.
I bet it's a relief to have the weekends off, isn't it?
Oh, it is.
Don't you get bored gaping into people's mouths?
No, it's all right. It's interesting.
Have a look at this one.
Pardon?
Have a look at this one. So 16 years age, and a trainee already. That's not bad going, is it?
No, it's all
So that means you're well on the way to getting a career in it if you want it, I guess.
I want to be a nurse anyway.
Do you?
Yeah.
Whereabouts are we calling you?
Tamworth.
So would you go to a local hospital, a Birmingham hospital, or
Yeah, I suppose so. Well, I'm in, like, the dental thing, so
Yeah.
I'm going to go to Tamworth.
right? You know the game?
Yeah.
Have a listen to this, Sue. Who's that?
Malcolm McLaren, doubled up.
And the position it got to in the UK chart. For 10 singles, you get it absolutely right. And the jackpot.
6.
Number 6.
Number 3.
Ooh. That means you get 7 singles. That's not too bad. I mean, 7 singles is a lot more than none.
Will you say hello to my mum?
Yeah, what's her name? What is her name?
Phil.
Hello, Sylv. Morning.
And my dad.
And Dad as well, Dave. Hi, Dave. What you going to do today?
Just sit around, I suppose.
Enjoy it anyway.
Will you send a song photo of Mike Reed, please?
Certainly. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Two strong arms, blessings of Babylon. Time to carry on and try for sins and false alarms. So to America the brave, wise men say near a tree by a river there's a hole in the ground where an old man of iron goes around and around, and his mind is a beacon in the
Lifelines, and one of the most revealing parts of the programme, I think, where we have the opportunity of setting up our audience on the phones to speak to their favourite artists. And of course, one of the bands that got more cars than any other, as you can imagine, are Wham. And from Wham is Andrew Ridgeley. Thanks for coming in. I've got a load of people who want to speak to you and ask you their questions. So if you will stand by your microphone, we'll ask the first call to come through, who is Amanda Catt. Amanda.
Hello, Andrew.
Hello, Amanda. You right?
Yes, thanks.
Good.
Do you mind all the publicity about your private life in the newspapers?
I don't think we get pried upon too much. Occasionally it can get a little bit too much. The press hounded me for a little while. They were down in the south of France, pestering, but, one has to live with that. It's part of the job, as it were.
Next call is?
Sally Snart in Weybridge. What really happened to your nose?
What really happened to it? I broke my nose when I was a kid, a long, long time. In fact, I broke it 2 or 3 times, and the doctor said that when I was old enough, I'd have to go and have it done, so I went and had it done, really. That's the plain truth.
And how did you do your nose, by the way? Was it punching, boxing, or something like that?
No, I broke it in a swimming pool. I dived in sort of...
With no water in it?
Minimal water, yeah. Minimal depth.
Thanks, Sally. Next from Bideford is Kerry White.
Hello?
Hello, Kerry. Where's Bideford?
It's in North Devon. It's a long way from where you are.
It's beautiful down there.
Country.
Boring.
Oh, it's lovely. What's the most beautiful part of the country?
Bideford is very boring, believe me.
All right, we'll take it from you. Bideford's boring. Well, let's brighten it up, son.
Can I ask, was the version of Careless Whisper that George sang on the Club Fantastic tour last year the one that you finally released as a single? Because I heard that you've mixed and remixed it about 1 million times before you finally got it to your satisfaction.
No, it wasn't that, Kerry. The version that George sang on the tour last year was the version that he recorded with an American record producer called Jerry Wexler.
Uh-huh.
That you'll find on the B-side of one of the 12-inch singles. I think it was a limited edition 12-inch single. We were planning to release it last year, but we decided not to. And after listening to it for a few months, we decided that it could be done. It could be done better. So it was re-recorded. It wasn't remixed. The whole thing was re-recorded, and that's the version that we finally released.
Very bright.
Yes.
Right, next on the line is Sarah Elland from St Anne's.
Hi, Sarah.
Hi, Andrew. When you first met George at school, what did you think of him?
George, yes. Yeah, we just we sort of got on really well from word go, or rather from when he pushed me off a wall and I very nearly had brain damage. But yeah, we got on well.
But they're good mates. It's unusual, that, don't you think?
Yeah.
Sarah, have you got any friends that you would ever imagine forming a group with from school?